Hello, welcome back to my channel. Denise here. I hope you're well. Today I'm coming on to take part in Handmade by Shirley's Tag Tuesday challenge. At the beginning of the month, Shirley puts on her channel the prompts for every tag, and this Tuesday it is bubbles. So I'm using an old Papercraft Society box, box 32. It was curated by Olga Direktorenko of Paper Discovery, and it was all about bath bubbles and champagne bubbles. It was lovely. So I thought I'd return to this kit and use this. So what I'm using from it is this die with the cutting edge, and also the little girl blowing bubbles, and I've used the die Enjoy. So let's go on and make the tag. So I've got my tag, and I just want to ink one side of it with my tumbled glass distress oxide. I'll leave a link to Shirley's channel because you'll be able to see who else takes part, and if you want to take part in the community section of that, there is a list of the next prompts. And also, if you put hashtag Tag Tuesday into social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, it will come up with people that have taken part in Tag Tuesday. It'll come up with their makes. So go along and have a look at them. So there we are. I've just wanted to slightly ink that side, and I've taken some of the paper from the pack and I've used the bubble die and its cutting partner to cut the edge of the paper, and I'm going to glue that on to there. So I'm going to use my sort of precision tip for getting round these bubbles, and I'll use my collal on the largest section of paper. That's all stuck on there. I will just clean all that off, make sure that's all stuck, and then we just need to go around the edge to cut off the excess paper. We'll leave that to dry before we punch our hole in it. So let's just leave that over one side. So there's my little girl, and I've got my Tattered Rose Distress Oxide, and I want to run all over sort of the fleshy bits, I suppose. There we go. Doesn't really matter how precise we are with that. And then I've cut out some more pieces in different card. So I've cut a hare, I've cut a dress in some of the different bubble paper, and these I know I'm going to lose. I've cut some shoes, they're very tiny. So let's get this all stuck down and she will come to life when you see her. And again, this is, I've got some collal glue which I've decanted, and has a chisel chip, like a precision nib. So let's put the hair on there, and I want to go over it. Let's just let it get down, and I just want to go over the edges with some, I don't want to do it too heavy at the moment, but just a little bit of frayed burlap. Don't know whether you can see it, but it just does do the edge. And then the next bit is popping her dress on. I do like a little bit of paper piecing on the things. So that's her little dress. There we are. That's her little dress. And then this could be very tricky. Let's see if I can just grab this. Whoops, I know I'm going to lose them. And then we'll just put her little shoes on. And here is the other one. Just get that end a little bit. There we go. And there is the other shoe. Just make sure they're on. So that's that. Keeps sticking to me because I've had glue everywhere. So that is that. And then I just want to, that's my little pen. Here it is. I'm just going to put a dot for her eye, and then a dot there, so it look like there's a hole in that where the bubbles come out of. So that is my little girl. So let's bring the tag back in, and she is going to sit on there. But I'm going to lift her up on some foam. And I have some foam strips that I got some time ago from Amazon. And they come in these long, thin strips. I got them for doing shaker cards. They're really good. But they do come in handy for little things like this as well. So, put a little strip there. And a little strip on there. And I think that will be enough. So, let's take the release paper off. I have enjoyed taking part in Shirley's challenge. I just want to get a little bit of glue. As I say, it's nice that she gives us some prompts. And I thought about taking part because I never have never think about doing tags, and it's really got me thinking. So there we are, that's our little girl blowing the bubbles. I'm going to put enjoy across there. I think before I do that, I maybe should have thought about that before. It's a good job I use Kalal. I'll bring her down a little bit because I need to put the hole in there before I do that. And how I do that is I have my crocodile, but first of all, just to get it centered, this is 2 inches across. So I usually just pop a little mark there and just go down a little bit, just so I can get that centered. So let me just do that. There we are. And I've got my eyelet, and I need to just do that. So there we are, that's my eyelet on. So then I want to stick my enjoy on there, and how I've done that is I've cut it 3 times, twice in white, and I inked up some more card in my tumble glass, and that's going to go on there. Let's have this. I love when I'm doing things with flowers. Sometimes I like to use these, and these are these crystal droplets, and I thought they look like bubbles going up around the area. So I'm going to stick some of those bubbles down. Where is my picker up a tool, which is there. So I'm going to put one there, another there, one there. That's 4. I need 5. We need an odd number. As I've said before, I like odd numbers when I'm dealing with something like this. Oops, the other way around. So there we are. That's the bubbles. Once they're dried, once the glue's dried, you won't see it. It will be clear underneath. So it just leaves me now. I've got some baby blue ribbon and some white ribbon. So it just leaves me to pop those through that eyelet. There we are. And then I can just cut that off. I think I need to sharpen my scissors. And then to stop the ribbon from fraying, just very carefully take a lighter to them, just a flame. So let's get this up, tidied up, and we'll have a look at this card tag. So here is the finished tag. I've just put some glossy accents on her eye and on the little, I don't know what they call it, but the little wand that you blow the bubbles from. So I hope you like that. I've enjoyed making that, and I've enjoyed going back to the Papercraft Society kits. So when I looked in there, there's some wonderful things. So I think I might be doing something else with that as well. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to go across and see Shirley's page, and also use that hashtag Tuesday tag to see what everybody else has made. So take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.